Let's continue. RIA Novosti is reporting that United States may recognize Crimea as a Russian as a part of a deal on Ukraine, according to media reports. So United States is considering the possibility of recognizing Crimea as a Russian territory as a part of the settlement of the Ukrainian conflict. Semaphore media outlet writes, citing informed sources. According to media report, a situation is being discussed in which the United States will call on the UN to recognize Crimea as a part of Russia, which coincides with the position of President Vladimir Putin. At the same time, the article states that no concrete decisions have been made yet, and above mentioned their option is one of the possible steps towards ending their conflict. White House declined to comment on their matter. Interesting news, isn't it? Interesting news. So eventually, obviously, not just US, but entire world will have to recognize objective reality, which is that Crimea is Russia, but it's not just Crimea, by the way. It's Kherson region, Zaporozhye region, DPR and LPR. And all these regions has to be recognized as a part of Russia too. And when peaceful settlement will be reached in regards to Ukrainian crisis, I'm quite sure Russian side will have a demand referendums to be conducted all over their Kiev controlled territory, everywhere, in all regions, so that people under control of UN, by the way, under control of international institutions that Russia might have some trust in, right? And people there in those regions from Kharkov, in Kharkov region, Dnipropetrovsk region, Nikolaev, the Odessa region, Sumy, Chernigov, all of it, by the way, entire territory. People there should have opportunity to decide their future. Do they want to stay inside their Ukraine? Do they want their regions to be part of this so-called Ukraine, this artificial creation of the Bolsheviks, or they want their independence or to join Russia? People there should have such an option. And I believe Russia will demand those referendums to take place, and whatever people will decide, then be it. You know, if people in Kharkov, and I'm quite sure people in Kharkov, Dnipropetrovsk, Nikolaev, Odessa region, potentially in Sumy, Chernigov regions, in some other regions, I'm quite sure people will vote to join Russia, right? To declare independence from the so-called Ukraine first, and then to join Russia. And the will of people should be respected, right? At the same time, I'm quite sure people in Western Ukraine, for example, will vote against Russia. They will vote to, stay as a Ukraine, and their vote should be respected also. Although, by the way, I have some doubts that Poland has any plans to respect any will of Western Ukrainians, because it's only a matter of time, and Poland will have a claim on the territories, on some 60-70% of Western Ukraine, by the way, that used to be part of Poland before Second World War. And when Poland does it, obviously Hungary will not stay aside. Hungary will reclaim Transcarpathia region that used to be part of Hungary before First World War. And also, by the way, I don't think Romania will stay aside. They will claim whatever they can from the territories that used to be part of Romania before Second World War, and significant part of Odessa region, by the way. Moldova, this modern Moldova Republic, was a part of Romania. Many people may don't know that, but yes, Moldova was a part of Romania. But that's a different story. But when it comes to this so-called Ukraine, some western parts of it were used to be Romania, and some parts that currently belongs to Odessa region too. And I doubt that Bucharest and Moscow would agree on these parts that belongs currently to Odessa region, probably those areas will join Russia eventually. But western parts most likely will become Romania. So therefore, Russia will respect voice of people in the central, southern, northern regions of Ukraine. And if they will say, we want to stay in Ukraine, okay, I mean, that's your choice. But if you say that you want to join Russia, you're welcome, right? And I'm quite sure some 70-80% of people there will vote to join Russia, by the way. I have no doubts about that. And Russia will respect whatever their people gonna say there. Western Ukraine, different story. I'm quite sure Western neighbors or European neighbors of that Western Ukraine not gonna respect their results of the referendums. If those referendums will even take place in the western parts, but in central, southern, northern Ukraine, these referendums most likely will take place because I'm quite sure Moscow will have such a demand during their negotiating process, to reach final resolution of their conflict. So therefore, US and all the other countries worldwide, majority at least, will recognize not just Crimea to be a part of Russia, or the Kherson region, Zaporozhye, DPR and LPR, but they will most likely recognize that Kharkov region, Dnipropetrovsk region, Nikolaev region, Odessa regions, and some others potentially are also part of Russia, because that's how it's gonna be. Mark my word, dear friends, that's how it's gonna be.
Hello everyone, if you find this video interesting and useful, please click that like button, leave some commentary and share with your friends. If you like my work and want to support this project, you can do it through several means. All the links are on this video in the description box and in the pinned comment, including links to my Patreon and Boosty pages, where you can have access to full shows in case you are interested. Thank you.